Barbara, you are on mute.
It goes.
There we go.
Mhm. I just saying, I thought if I should color my hair one more time or or see how the colors it's coming up with all by itself.
Oh boy.
Hmm.
Okay, oh, Kurt left. Okay. Not sure if he's coming back. Um, but we'll be starting it here in a second. Should have one more person said that they were coming.
Hmm. Okay, I'm gonna be right back.
I was just
I mean, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just grabbing something here. Trying to make myself look more alive.
I was just gonna call you, buddy.
Mhm.
Jonathan.
I'm here.
I was just gonna call you.
All right, so it is showing that we are live streaming and recording. We should be able to get the live stream link from the.
Yep, and Kurt is cutting in and out.
Frozen.
That's pretty
He's on
funny.
the road.
That was pretty funny.
But I will put the um, that is the YouTube link or the live stream YouTube link of this right now. So if both of you could please like, share, comment, and so on, and all of your stuff, that would be lovely. Garrett, we can't hear you, buddy.
I'm not saying anything. Are you
Okay,
hearing me now?
For a second, it sort of looked like you did. Maybe it was just because of your connection.
Yeah, it's like a robot sound.
How's life, Jonathan? But Garrett, are you doing intro?
Life is stupendous.
But welcome everybody to the this week's episode of the World of Ability podcast. We have Mr. We have Barbara, who's a regular here, and we have Mr. Jonathan De La Rosa back, who was here a couple weeks ago.
All right, so we are 5 minutes into this hour of World of Ability podcast. As Emily said, we are pleased to be joined for sure by her and Barbara and Jonathan De La Rosa. The World of Ability podcast was created July 26, 2020, inspired out of disability advocacy. We have our sister show, Ability MKE Now, that broadcasts out of Milwaukee with River West Radio, riverwestradio.com. So we have an exciting announcement that our captain and co-host, we have Denise Vargas, is going to be changing her schedule from the Saturday World of Ability podcast to the Wednesday 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern time slot with riverwestradio.com, live streaming right from that website. And we also have host Sue Roskoff, does Facebook Live and coordinates that with the Ability MKE Now Facebook page. So stay tuned on Wednesday evening, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Or sorry, 7:30 p.m. Central, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, with the Ability MKE Now. It's exciting development, and it's a 29-minute show, and we welcome referrals and inquiries to be a guest on Ability MKE Now. And this, your World of Ability podcast, going out over YouTube Live and coordinated with our Facebook page for the World of Ability and other social media, and syndicated out to the Transform You Live show creation, Transform You Media Network, with Marcus Hart, our podcast mogul. And we have The Pack channel with Zach Clayton picks this up as well and puts it out over that channel. And we're always giving great kudos and thanking out to the Disability Channel for carrying all of this advocacy programming at the same time. So I'm Kurt Roskoff, pleased to be co-creator and co-host of this show. And so we're going to go snip, snap, bing, bang, boom, and then we're going to be done within the hour because this is a power hour. This is a multitasking event because I am out here playing a role also with the Pewaukee Lake Water Ski Club out of Pewaukee, Wisconsin. We are conducting a rescheduled parade and water ski show and fireworks because on Monday with the 4th of July holiday Independence Day celebration with rain and storms and everything, the only thing that actually happened on Monday out here in Pewaukee, Wisconsin for that was the water ski show by the Pewaukee Lake Water Ski Club. So it's been an interesting week, and today is just a wonderful day weather-wise out here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We have a pleasant 75 degrees and sunny, just a little bit of a breeze, and it is really comfortable, and it's going to be a wonderful day for a parade, water ski show, and fireworks. Yesterday, we were out at Browns Lake with the Browns Lake Aqueducts that supports the Lindsay Legis Free Water Ski Club. And so check it out on Facebook, Lindsay Legis Free Water Skiing Club, both a page and a group to go check out there. I think it's approaching, if not over, a couple hundred photos with some videos showing adaptive water skiing at its finest. So lindsay.org is the website, LYNZAY.org. This is all something culminating quite nicely today because it is water skiing that inspired me to get into disability services, disability advocacy, and networking across all disability organizations I can find. And what I found was that the common denominator is the Achilles heel of doing social work, social mission, and nonprofit work is marketing. So all nonprofits need your help, folks. It's a serious thing because nonprofits are filling the gaps every day in our society where government, where faith-based organizations, where business groups and all of these illustrious entities, are thought of to just really take care of everything, and that's not the case. So the nonprofits have to be closely akin to the for-profits and vice versa. Our enterprising entrepreneurs need to really take a check-in and see what they're doing to build up a future and a legacy within their marketplace, and to look at the role that nonprofits play making that all happen. So Barbara, we're always pleased that you're here as a panelist, and you're giving color commentary, a lot of cool stuff that you've got going on. You're here with the ski club. My daughter holds a name called Hippie Chick. And you know what, Barbara? I think you're one of those kind of people too. I think in this show we could call you our hippie chick here at World of Ability. So Barbara, what do you have to say as our newly acclaimed hippie chick?
Hippie, oh yeah. That's I'm seeing in my Toastmaster clubs, people are becoming bolder. They're being able to talk about important things that they avoid these subjects. You might offend somebody, and I'm watching people not being afraid to talk about what's inspiring them, what's really in their hearts, what they really want from life. That's been so enlightening. That's been so exciting to see people giving each other freedom to speak freely. and I'm seeing this wonderful program. It's called Pathways. You choose the path that you want to be on. Like, do you want to inspire people? Do you want to be able to make people laugh? And then really bright minds have been working a while to help you develop your ability to become that. And that's something that's so touched my heart and really inspired me this week, is to see what this Japanese Buddhist man said. It's got to be the United States to open the door to the future, to a world that's kinder and more loving. He said he wishes it could be from his country, but he said no, but in the United States, we've created the ability to really question with each other and opening up our hearts to learn from each other, coming from different parts of the world, and to really the land of opportunity where we can become so strong that we can go back to where our people came from, because they were leaving oppression, they were leaving, poverty, whatever, to come to the United States with their American dream, with their dream of the United States, and actually go back and care about people all over the world. And it's exciting to see the reality of that starting to happen, really happening. So I'm pretty excited today. I'm excited about what medical science has been able to do to help me be able to continue to walk and have many more years of life than I would without that help. And I'm seeing so much help and seeing so much unity. That's what I want to share today, for sure. And I look forward to learning about caring about the veterans, where and how that's happening, to learn more about that today. Thank you. Thank you for giving me a chance to share.
You are very welcome. Thanks for sharing. So here at the World of Ability, we like to win, and we like to say, let's strive towards winning through the disability community. So to back up a little bit and just focus on winning, we have Jonathan De La Rosa here, who has a podcast that is all about what I would just say the big win. But Jonathan, you want to come on here a little bit and talk about, your podcast and your show, and otherwise the work that you do and your company work?
Yes, Kurt. Can you guys hear me clearly, by the way? I'm right in front of a fan, like literally right in front. So I don't know.
Yes.
Yes, you're fine.
Okay, good.
You're all good.
Awesome. First and foremost, I want to say hi to Barbara. Good to see you here, and it's really awesome to put a face to the voice that we hear on Clubhouse. So that's really awesome. So I'm going to start off really quickly by making a very useless but very random a fact that I just found out about a few minutes ago. The official state cookie of the state of Massachusetts, which is where I live, is the chocolate chip cookie, which was actually designated about 25 years ago today. So pretty interesting stuff. I don't know. I wanted to preface that with some useless information. I like chocolate chip cookies. I'm sure you can tell by my my neck fats here. So I love cookies. I love cookies, especially when they're all gooey. Anyway, let me stop. Okay. So I'm just being silly. So real quick.
We love you, Jonathan, anyway.
Awesome, Emily. Good to see you. Kurt, thank you so much as well. Thank you both for all you guys do here as well. So definitely I'm happy to be here. And I actually know Kurt and Emily through an organization called the Happy Neighborhood Project, which is a phenomenal organization where you can do a lot of, they give you, you have a platform to do a lot of networking and meet so many awesome people. And through the Happy Neighborhood Project, I was able to, I was actually introduced to Clubhouse, which is where I actually I feel that I built a more strong relationship with Kurt and Emily. So I'm definitely grateful for that. As for what I'm doing, as for business and for podcasting, as far as business is concerned, I started a company a couple of years ago called Respect Corp. And what we do is, we're a US-based outsourcer, and companies actually hire us for specific business process support. So when I say business process, I'm talking about, if it's sales related, if it's customer service related, if it's HR related, if it's marketing related, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So in a very tight nutshell, that's what we do. We have an offshore team based in the Philippines that that when companies hire us, they can take on or they can utilize our team to support them. And that's like I said, in a nutshell, that's what we do. And I feel strongly about this because I truly believe that, it's really, a lot of companies, there's companies that are starting left and right. Like every day there's hundreds, maybe even thousands of companies that are starting every single day. During the pandemic, so many companies were founded during the pandemic. I know lots of people who started companies and they're actually already on the rise, which is pretty cool. And a lot of times when you're trying to scale your company, it gets very expensive and time consuming to build that entire business process from scratch, especially if you're a first time founder. And I always tell people, if you need very simple support, you can always go to a VA, like an independent virtual assistant, or you can go to an organization like Upwork, for example, right? And maybe hire one or two people for simple tasks, like everyday tasks, But when you need a very robust team that can really handle a larger customer base, for example, that's where we come in. And I think it's really important to to support these businesses that are looking to scale, looking to grow. Not only are they saving tons of time, but they're also saving tons of money as well, which is pretty cool. And another project that I started last year. You guys are gonna probably laugh when I say this, but I stole this idea. I know I'm kind of a thief. I stole this idea from my wife, and it was actually her idea about my podcast called "This Is My Big Win," and we talked about this. And a lot of times when you're listening to podcasts, there's so many podcasts out there, and there's so many podcasts that are more centered on success, right? Like on massive success and getting rich, or going from the bottom to the top, right? And by the way, I love those podcasts. There's so many, I can name so many different ones off the top of my head that are really good, that are really just absolutely phenomenal. But we talked about, like, it'd be pretty cool to share stories of like people like that we talk to on a day-to-day basis. Everyone has their own story to share. They just don't talk about it on a larger scale. And a lot of times you meet people and you're like, wow, like that is a wild story. Emily, you were on on a Clubhouse room I was in last night, and it got really like intense, like a little bit too intense. You know what I'm talking about. And yeah, like those people.
Yeah, somebody, the one person who was insisting that you're Korean.
Yeah, no, but I know that was really weird. That was very, very awkward. I was like,
that was like right after I came on.
It was, and I was like, no, but he was mistaking me for somebody else.
Oh well, I kind of figured that, but still.
Oh, I know.
But it was intense otherwise, though. Yeah, it was intense not just because of that.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. But I think before you showed up, Emily, there was some really interesting stuff that was being talked about, and people have stories. Like everybody has stories. Like every one of us has a story. So I like to bring people on and they share their stories. They share the like how they overcame something in their life, right? Like every one of us has a story. All of us has a story. So that's what it's all about. It's called "This Is My Big Win." It's on YouTube. It's right now primarily video based. We are going to be going audio based after my trip. I'm going to be going on a trip in about a month from now, for both business and pleasure, and after that we're going to be going full audio in addition to video. So if you are interested in checking it out, just type in "This Is My Big Win" on YouTube. You'll find it, and support us by subscribing, and we'll love your support. And if you want to be on the show, let's have a conversation. I know that there's a few people on this in here right now that we are talking about that. So just got to set up the time and all that fun stuff. But if you are interested in coming on, let's have a conversation. But also would love your support as well. So, but thank you so much for the platform to share, and I'm always happy to be here. So back to you, Kurt.
Jonathan, where are you going on vacation? Wisconsin?
And that would be nice. I know that would be nice. I would love to. I actually want. Wisconsin is definitely a place I've always wanted to go. I've always wanted to go to Milwaukee. But yeah, I mean, you never know, right?
Kurt's near Milwaukee, and I'm like
There
an
you
hour and a
go.
half. I'm an hour and a half from Milwaukee, so
There
Come
you go.
on, come
There you
on,
go.
buddy.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, it's gonna be fun though. But yeah, no, we're gonna be going to the Philippines as a matter of
Oh.
fact. So yeah, it'll be fun. Yeah, a little bit of a ways away from Milwaukee, so or from Wisconsin. in
Just
general.
do it, just a little.
Just a tad, just a tad. It's only 12,000 miles away. It's not too far. Just down the street.
Yes. Okay,
So,
Kurt, we do have a new person who's joined us.
All right, so Emily, you want to go ahead and introduce our new person? Give us a little background. What's happening with our new person? Take it away.
Well, actually, I don't really know. This person actually, this person could probably, if they're comfortable with me introducing themselves. But this person had said their interest in joining us on this podcast through Eventbrite. Just like a couple days ago. So I just sent them this link just a few hours ago. So that's all I know at the moment.
All right, there you go. You get a minute of everything Emily knows. And then now with our new person, did you want to come unmuted and say hi to our audience today? Welcome you as their guest. Would you like to say anything? And then we are on Zoom, so if you'd prefer to just chat in the Zoom and let us know what your preferences are that way. But with that, we are...
They did put did ask what the name of Jonathan's YouTube channel was in the chat, which looks like Jonathan put in there. So I guess for sure meeting whenever you're interested in chiming in, just let us know.
All right, we did just get a text that
She's
are-
unable to talk.
Yep. So, but there we go. We just want to make sure everybody's included and gets a chance. So I want to cover a little bit of a nice addition to all these great combinations from yesterday and today. Yesterday we had one of our friends from Happy Neighborhood Project out of California. She's got a background being a captain with the Happy Neighborhood Project, and she actually is the captain that got us started with H&P Wisconsin chapter, Gabriella Water. She's doing great work with Gab Talks, gabtalks.com. And check out her social media and her YouTube channel. Give her a subscription on her YouTube channel. She does absolute wonderful work, and she put a post. So everybody out there, check out the H&P Online Networking Group. Again, H&P Happy Neighborhood Project Online Networking Group. It's a private group, but go ahead if you're interested in the work of the Happy Neighborhood Project and want to collaborate with us and have a positive effect, including spreading happiness around the world and doing so through our professional and business capacities, consider joining that group. To see the post by Gabriella Waterman. She reported that in the week prior to the passing of our great friend Ron Sikenik, who was a trainer with the Happy Neighborhood Project, he was a guest almost a week prior to his passing with Gabriella Waterman. And so that was, I don't even remember how long it was. I want to say it was like 17 minutes long, maybe it was a little over 20 minutes long, something in that range. A nice little interview. And yeah, it was well done. Gabriella, notes in the post that it was something where, when they were coming on Zoom and they were gonna, whether it's Zoom or however she's producing it. Yeah, I think it's Zoom because I went through the scheduling too to see that I think she's using Zoom to produce her interviews for YouTube. And they were, Ron suggested, because Gabriella was coughing a little bit too and whatever. So the thought was there, hey, maybe we reschedule. Maybe we should just reschedule. Well, for all of her reasons, Gabriella asked Ron to see if he was willing to just press on and to just see how it goes. Kind of like it's just a recording that she doesn't go live right at the time of the interview. She prepares it as an edited show. And so he was agreeable. He was agreeable to just see what happens. Worst case scenario, they just ditched the whole thing and rescheduled to do it anyway. But the way it turns out, it went fine. And she's got a tremendous video there on YouTube. I think everybody who has touched the Happy Neighborhood Project, I think there should be 3,000 people who watch that interview. Because if you want to see an exemplification of what this is all about, to take a leader like Gabriella Waterman and a leader like Ron Sukenik, and you just look at what those two individuals have done to contribute to the community and the impact that they've had on Emily and myself and others. Jonathan, I don't know what you would report in this realm with these individuals, but, there's a memoriam now added on to everything else we've been trying to do since Ron's passing. And, I'm looking at it in consideration to what Barbara said. Barbara said that she is interested in the conversation about veterans. We've always been proud, we're still proud to have known Ron and to have shared this piece of Ron's life as he was one of our veterans. He'll always be remembered in our knowing that he has served us as Americans in this way, and served us additionally from his business acumen. And so he was known to us as a LinkedIn trainer as well, and he was always sharing these tidbits, about helping us get the most out of LinkedIn and beyond that. I think of in my realm in technology, I've kind of echoed what I've learned from the technology world that, yeah, you've got the high tech, but you need the high touch. And so Ron definitely specialized in that high touch realm. And so again, I highly recommend that Gab Talks video featuring Ron Sukenik, put together as a memoriam. And with that content, very rich in great nuggets, to think about what it is to build a relationship, to build expertise, to build trust and honor and things like this. Gabriella did a fantastic job as an interviewer, and Ron was one of these guys that, we always look forward to get back with him. And so now we get back with him in memory. So there's that. So Emily, I don't know if you happen to see that video at all. Did you get a chance to look at it?
Yeah, I was gonna bring it up actually. I thought it was a good video. Jonathan and Barbara, if you've not seen it already, please watch it.
And what do we do to see it? I didn't quite get all that information.
I will send the link to you.
Thank you.
I can send it to you, Jonathan, too, if you haven't found it. But I am really happy that that actually happened when it did, and they didn't reschedule, because who knows if it would have happened if everything else stayed the same, because Ron isn't here anymore. And so if they hadn't done it when they did, and so now that we have it, so I'm happy that it happened. So for those of you who have not seen it, please watch it. It is very informational and good. And live shows. It's very telling of like both of I can't even talk today. Really telling of each of them and how they are and that kind of thing. So
Jonathan, do you have any reflections? Well, first of all, with Gabriella, who's out there in California, and then in our conversation here about remembrance of Ron Sukenik, anything you have to add being one of our leaders at the Happy Neighborhood Project and our co-host community and so forth?
Actually, unfortunately, I've never attended his weekly calls. I think it was on Tuesdays, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly.
It was the monthly co-host training.
Yeah, that's what I meant, the monthly one. So I have not had a chance to, and I regret that, as a matter of fact. I didn't know him personally, but I have heard so many great things about him. Even before his passing, I've heard his name, numerous times, as a matter of fact, as a person that I should connect with. So, from what I know, from what I've heard, he sounded like a person who was truly just. He always thought beyond himself, and never had that kind of like, he always was very genuine on helping you grow and helping you improve. Not only in business, but just in whatever you're doing, right? So unfortunately, I didn't know him like personally, like on a personal level, but just like those little things that I've been hearing, and from what people have told me as well. He definitely he's definitely touched people's lives in a very positive way, which is, if you want to say something positive, right? If you're going to go out, that's the way to go out, in my opinion. Is people will remember all the good things about you, and will know, like, wow, like, this person affected me in this way, in this positive way. And that's really all I could say beyond that. So thank you so much.
Yeah, all good stuff. It does speak to an important element that as we conduct ourselves and live on, and as we set our intentions and consider our timing, the importance of now possibly versus later, and if there are missed opportunities, how a community like the Happy Neighborhood Project, the Happy Co-op being the last reported number I heard was 2,540 members, but it's been growing from there. So we just keep saying over 2,500 members to the Happy Co-op. And so it's very powerful that when we talk about all of us as members of the co-op and community of thousands with an intention to quadruple, our goal by the end of the year is to go from this 2,500 to 10,000 people in the Happy Co-op. So I'm very optimistic that the World of Ability will play a role in that development. And, between all of our guests and our panelists, I don't know what happened with Mariana Waikiki today, but she's always about going out and play. So we hope Mariana is playing while we're missing her here in this show. And I'm taking a guess that maybe in 90 minutes, I might be getting with her in a referral that she has sent off. But Barbara, I want to check in with you as we referred to Ron. I don't know that you would have had any way to know Ron, and even Gabriella. I don't know if her name has come up enough that it would have been in a conversation with you, Barbara. But we're kind of talking about some people, and you're hearing, Emily, Jonathan, and myself kind of talking about people, name dropping and stuff like that. But what does it do you to hear that we're talking about a veteran in this way and a leader that, well, he was a leader, and then we have Gabriella Waterman, who's still doing great work at the Happy Neighborhood Project and through Gab Talks. What does this bring for you, Barbara?
Well, it's exciting to hear how many people are part of the Happy Neighborhood Project right now, and that these people were significant in bringing that about. And it makes me think I'm excited to see the interview with the two people and get to know them that way. Because as I'm getting to know them through you, it's making me want to really get to know them.
There you go. This is all part of our vicarious works of the World of Ability Network. Business of podcasting, vodcasting, doing live streaming, and creating lively conversations and doing what we do. And part of what we do is, we have Zoom guests here. So if anybody out there wants to be a Zoom guest, our meeting ID for Zoom during our shows, so like right now, anybody out there catching this, or any Saturday at 2 Central, 3 Eastern, can come in and join us through the meeting ID of Ability Now. So just use your Zoom app, get to entering a meeting, joining a meeting, and when it asks for a meeting ID, go ahead and switch it from the numeric ID to where we can type in the name of the meeting, and the name of this meeting is Ability Now that we use every Saturday at the same time. So feel free to join us any week that works out for you. And as we're doing this, our in-Zoom guests asked for the gabtalks.com to be relisted in the chat and or to list it in the chat, and Emily agreed to put that in there for our guests. So we're here to accommodate, and World of Ability being in disability advocacy, I repeat myself that we're always about inclusion, accommodation, and accessibility. And I want to come back to referring to our friend Denise Vargas, who is a board member of the Happy Co-op, a captain with the Happy Neighborhood Project. And on Thursdays, she co-captained, she's the lead captain, but I co-captain with her on Thursdays with HMP. Again, HMP is Happy Neighborhood Project. HMP is supporting veterans and all abilities. So we do that Thursdays at the same time as the Saturday show, 2 Central, 3 Eastern. And so I put a message out to her. I don't know if I got a response back from her yet or not. I've been pretty busy since I sent the message, but my intention is to incorporate into that our networking meeting on Thursday this video by Gab Talks. Now, we're not going to sit there and watch it, but just like we referred to it here in this live stream, in this recording, that that we do the same on Thursdays. So Emily and Barbara, I don't know what you're doing on Thursday, and Jonathan, but I want to get the call out there. I want to do another nice thing to show all of these, great, things that bloom and blossom from the wonderful intentions we strive at together as members of the Happy Co-op and participants of the Happy Neighborhood Project. Because you never know what's going to happen, after some time. So it's basically almost 2.5 years in the making, because COVID, March 2020, and sets into motion through the International Day of Happiness, March 20th, 2020, and the Zoom event there, and then inspired from that Zoom event to do, other co-hosted events. And that's where in a half a year's time from that, I got involved August 2020 with the Happy Neighborhood Project and the networking. And by January, Emily joined me in the crusade with, like I said, Gabriella Waterman to start the HMP Wisconsin event. And, we just all network like crazy with, thousands of people around us and hopping in the meetings, with 20 or whatever it is at a time in a Zoom meeting, and just doing a ton of meetings, especially when you're a co-host. You're committing to potentially every week. Now, in our co-host manual, it says, it kind of insinuates there that even if you only make half the meetings, you're still a co-host in good standing, apparently. But it gives the guideposts that you're going to be most respected if you make at least 3 out of 4 meetings. But I think a lot of our co-hosts are, keeping as close to 100% attendance as possible, maybe in a year missing 5 or 6 meetings. And, because stuff always comes up. Is that what you find, Jonathan, that, we have amazing attendance by our co-host community?
Absolutely. Of course, every so often we might have some things going on in life that kind of keeps us from being punctual or being consistent. But I have noticed it's very rare that I see people not show up.
Okay, I was just looking at a note here from our guest, in-Zoom guest here. Not only us, or maybe it's not only US, our guest is saying, I am from Australia. So that's great to have one of our Australians. We have a great chapter, or a few good meetings that are sponsored and co-hosted out of Australia. they take a format of one day they do a morning meeting, another day they do a noon or lunch meeting, and another day they do Australia afternoon. And Ian Kingwell over there, he always says we do things up a little differently over here, and yes, they do. And a lot of great ideas to us from Australia with the Happy Neighborhood Project, because Ian and the co-host teams over there in Australia see the things that they started adopted by the other 50 plus meetings at the Happy Neighborhood Project, available on Zoom throughout the week. And let's not forget about what Jonathan was talking about earlier, that on Thursdays at 4 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock Eastern, Jonathan, Emily, and myself, we are co-moderating on Clubhouse, Happy Business Networking on Clubhouse, all in the mantra of build relationships, Clubhouse style. So feel free to find Happy Neighborhood HMP on Clubhouse as well. So Emily, what else is going on in your neck of the woods since we did a show last week? What do you have to report? What's new? What's exciting? What's happening from your place?
I guess not a whole lot. But I did want to yes, I did kind of want to say, even though we're not having the official roundtable anymore, I shouldn't say anymore, at the moment, one of the things that Zach Clayton is doing is wanting to promote the whole thing with mental health. And we were going to be having an event, which we're not currently doing at the moment, but I think mental health is very important. So if anybody is interested in learning, have more about that, or kind of helping out with that, that would be lovely to let us know.
All right. So, Jonathan, I want to ask you, I like that Emily brought up this realm of mental health, because in the work that I do, and anybody out there in disability advocacy, whether they look at it or not, or, in the realm of the disability community, or when I say, inclusive, accessible, accommodating, and then now we're talking about mental health. And, when you look at a show like you've got, which allows somebody to share about, like somebody can think about my big win and be like, okay, thinking about what they're going to share with you on the show as they're putting in their head my big win, and then, okay, what am I going to share? I guess if you could just give us a little bit of, for our audience here, let's presume they haven't seen your show. Give us a little insight. Give us a little color commentary, like the emotional side of it, and then the outcome from it as people are consuming your show, listening to it, and hearing about people's big win. What is all happening there on the personal side of it? Because I'm suspecting that whether you intend it or not, there's a mental health resource to be had from your show and the people who are coming on sharing from their hearts. What can you tell us about that, Jonathan?
Kurt, that's a great question. I'm so grateful for that question. Wow, that's awesome. I'm so happy that you asked that. So I could give you so many examples, and I don't want to bore your audience too much, but or maybe this won't be boring, because I think this is pretty exciting stuff. I remember I had one guest that I had on my show, and I actually heard her speak on Clubhouse, and she made a couple of points that really just made my attendance go through the roof. I was like, oh my God, I have to talk to this person. Reached out to her. I said, you really got to share your story on my podcast. And of course, she was obviously, a bit reluctant. She's like, like, why should I, like, who is this guy? Blah, blah, blah. You know how it is, right? We talked, and, she came on the show. We did the recording, And you know, we shared the we shared the video. Her name is Jillian, by the way. So if you check it out, just I want to say it's episode 10. So she shared her story, and for her, she felt that her story was just a just an average story. There's nothing special about it. That's how she felt. And she was telling me that as she was telling the story, when it was being recorded, she was feeling like a sense of like she's just kind of like releasing that energy out to the world. And so she felt like, wow, I think that I've changed a lot over the years. I've overcame so much over the years, with my story. And so after we did the episode, she told me that she like it helped her become more confident as an entrepreneur, as well as just on her journey in her career, right? Because she's a nurse, she is starting a business as well. So she learned to become a lot more confident in herself, and she also decided to start learning new things. Like she started learning about crypto, she started learning about NFTs and stuff like that, and she taught herself this from scratch. And she was telling me just recently, as a matter of fact, you know what? I will tell you the exact quote right now, as a matter of fact, of what she told me. I was so like I was shocked. I was so shocked when she mentioned this, which was just absolutely phenomenal. Because it really, I don't know if I want to use the word solidified, but it really like it just told me, wow, I feel like I'm really doing something good. She said, my internal appreciation of you, believing in me to share a big win that I wasn't sure was share worthy, will always be a part of my journey to freedom, success as a female founder, entrepreneur, and creator. I was like, whoa, like that is just wild. So stuff like that. And I can tell you other stories of like that are very similar to that. And it's just so cool, right? And then from a mental health aspect too, a lot of the stories I share have a lot to do with mental health, right? In one way, shape, or form. What I've noticed about the people who've been on my show so far up to this point are these are people that just said, okay, I have this obstacle. I'm not gonna let this define my life. I'm gonna overcome this. And they overcame it. And then they're at a different point in their life. And the cool thing is these are people that are still on their journey as we speak. They're still they're still in their journey as like right now, just like you and I are. So it's really awesome to hear these stories. And I could tell you other examples. Like I had one gentleman who he he had a lot of anger growing up, and then he talked a lot about this. Like he had a lot of anger. He was told that at the rate that he's going in his life, if he keeps going the way he's going, he's either going to be dead or in jail by the time he's an adult. And he made a decision that he's not going to let that person be right. And then years later, he ended up like he's world famous at this point. To the point, he's known for playing ping pong professionally, which is a really weird sport if you think about it. But he played ping pong and was able to represent the U.S. to promote world peace diplomacy in North Korea, right? Um, so many other examples, right? And if you ever watch the episodes, when you watch the episodes, you would see like there's raw emotion there, and that's what makes it beautiful. So long-winded answer to a simple question, but hopefully that suffices your.
Mhm.
Yep, exactly. Thank you, Jonathan. So, Barbara, I want to go to you, and I want you to go to work on putting two pieces of this together in this conversation. One is only what you can offer. Well, both is from your perspective, but one piece is for yourself personally. As you heard Jonathan talk, and I really latched on to when that quote included the word appreciation. Let's just think of appreciation. So, like when you think of an item, a retail item, something of value, an antique or whatever it is, and you think of appreciation, or in accounting, and with that's depreciation. But when you think of appreciation, it insinuates growth, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Appreciation insinuates growth. So for yourself personally, Barbara, as Jonathan spoke and we're talking about this, what does it mean for you? And then weave into it, to use, Helen Weaver's terminology, weaving. weave into it your interest in this episode that we're talking about veterans and this thing in life where we can appreciate veterans, and we're talking about mental health. So for yourself, mental health wise, and for veterans, start talking about that for yourself and veterans. What does this all mean for you and your perspective with the veterans?
Well, I've been taught, through the Buddhism that I've been practicing, I've been taught that the best way for you to appreciate yourself and to grow and become healthy is if you can really love other people, if you can help somebody else grow. We've all heard this, we see one person lifting the other person up, and it's exciting where people are coming together right now to help stop veteran suicide, because we're one family, and they say you can't be happy if anyone in the family is suffering. We can't really be as free and as happy as we can be. So here's a chance to help people, and people are figuring out like how to do it. And we saw that video where this person was a homeless veteran. They say most of the homeless people you see are coming from that. And either that, or I was told children who were gay and their families let them go, put them out of the family. And these are people that, we go, oh, that's a bum, and get a job or whatever. But here were people, just that one person that ended up like having a nice home and having a car, and then getting a relationship, having a wife. It was so beautiful to see someone coming back to their sense of humanity and their sense of being able to really appreciate their lives, because other people were reaching out to them. And that idea of sharing is caring. It takes so much courage, right? Like, Kurt, I really want to go to the Mexican border, and I know that there's children that people have pushed over the border, hoping that, if you get to the United States, you're going to have a better life. And I want to go see, where are these kids right now? And are they having better lives? And let's become proactive. I saw community, and when I went to the Shakespeare Festival in Oregon, I recommend that to everybody. I love to see Kurt every weekend. He's another beautiful place, and he's in nature, and he's skiing, and there's music.
On the water.
Yeah, that's so nice. It's so wonderful. You get to do that, and you get to do this, and you get to be helping people. But the idea of, I saw a whole community that were helping children from other countries, where it wasn't just one family adopting. It was the community did. The community would have all kinds of beautiful celebrations and food, and that child that was coming from another country in poverty could, if one family, if it was getting tense there, or communication wasn't working, they could be in another household, building as if we're all therapists and we're all doctors and we're all lawyers together, helping each other communicate and be safe and have justice happen in a most compassionate way. I love to see that. I'd love to make a documentary where we can show the young people in our country, look what people are actually doing, forget the news. I saw a long time ago when I was trying to get the news to cover something beautiful that was going to be happening in a park. And the person I'm talking to on the phone was like, well, if someone there has a gun, then call us, Really want to raise humanity. And I don't know if you pronounce her name Malala or Malala, the girl, Pakistani girl who was shot in the head because she was trying to talk about the importance of educating females and with her father's support, and these guys get on her school bus, and she does not die. She doesn't even get that disfigured. And I believe she got a Nobel Peace Award for her work. And she believes that people only get that crazy when they don't have an education. And I think education, so we can relate to like the great philosophers and the artists and the musicians, and really feel like part of a humanity, part of a world where life really is beautiful and precious. And we can do that for each other and with each other, and it help each one of us heal. We don't have to be afraid to share when we have strong community, an intelligent community that can see if someone has a problem. Mental problems, emotional problems like that are just like the measles or the chicken pox. There's different symptoms that you can see that lets you know that there's this problem there, and we can have compassion, and we can protect each other and help each other. I'm excited. I'm in my 70s, and I just came through a point in life where I felt like I could have died. And I was saying, no, I need another 40 years because I really want to build this community, and I want to show people what's so beautiful. So here's a chance if we work hard. Like, I still don't know. I know somewhere in Illinois, I still don't have the date, but to develop that kind of strength that we can do if we live in the United States, we can develop that kind of transportation so we can go and support each other and have fun. More people have to live like Kurt, right? Where on the weekends, we're someplace beautiful and we're having fun together and we're still on the show. That's awesome. And I'm Emily, I'm falling in love with you, as I see like how much you give and how much Kurt gives, and we just gotta be happy. Happy is very good.
Yes.
Good for our health. Yeah.
Kurt and I, and I'm sure along with me and Jonathan, do what we can to help.
Yeah, you do. And I'm so glad that you accepted me, That's just what Jonathan said about what he was able to do for that woman. It's meant so much to me. I say, I've got to be on a radio show. And I feel like I'm somebody really special, and I watch my children, and, it makes them proud.
You're part of the family, Barbara.
Uh-huh.
You're part of the family, Barbara.
Thank you. Yeah, and we're just getting to meet. Thank you. I would ask Kurt, was I articulate? Did I make sense? Did you understand what I was saying? And I get, such positive feedback. And Denise, she likes to use the word I love that. And that would warm my heart, if I'd say do something and then you hear somebody loved it. Very good feeling.
Yeah, looks like we might have lost Kurt here. But yes, we, at least I understood you. I'm sure Jonathan and Sharmini, you understood Barbara, right? To answer her question.
Thank you.
But we have we're at pretty much our hour here. Coming to our end. I wanted to thank Barbara, Jonathan, and Sharmini for joining us today. And also wanted to thank Marcus of Transforming Media, Zach, and the Pet Channel and the Disability Channel, for allowing us to have this podcast on their platforms, and to please check out our social media pages and share, comment, And well, thank you for all the activity on those. And we are here every week, every Saturday at 3 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern. As Kurt mentioned before, if anybody is interested in joining us, just let us know. We can get you the Zoom link. And anybody who's welcome to join us and or tune in. And kind of losing track of my train of thought here. And so, oh boy.
Can,
So were you gonna say anything?
You got this, Emily.
yeah. Well, I mean, there's so much good stuff that's happening. One thing is Toastmasters. You know, I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but they say if it's not fun, it's not Toastmasters, and that's like helping us develop the skills. You know.
Yeah, I was at a Toastmasters meeting once. But yeah, so I guess, and so if anybody is interested in getting in contact with us, you can contact us through either our social media pages, or you can contact me and Kurt at Kurt at the disabilitychannel.us or Emily Gulmer at iCloud.com, or with Kurt's phone number 262-372-1754. And yes, until next time, everybody to stay healthy and stay happy.
Stay
I look
happy.
forward to seeing you guys.